Hello everybody, Bubblezest here and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. In today's video, we're going to be playing as Communist China. Now in the past, we've already done Wang Ming's Marxist Orthodoxy and Mao Zedong's Agrarian Socialism, so that leaves only one path for us to do, Zhang Lan's Social Democracy. So, let's get started. First things first, research slots. Normally we do things like electronics and industry, but there's a few things we need to research first. First up, trains. Second up, artillery. For our civs, we can't build anything, we have no slots, so for now we'll just build infrastructure. When we get slots we'll just do mill spam. Speaking of mills, we'll just do weapon spam, because that's all we can build for now. I mean, we could build transport planes, but haven't found a strat for that yet. Anyway, the army, let's gather it up and place it on the border with Shaanxi. Now, 8 divisions are good, but we definitely need a lot more units, so let's go into recruit and deploy and recruit 16 of these divisions. They're small, but they do more than enough. There we go, we'll deploy them as soon as possible, max priority, 1 of 1. And that is pretty much all of our prep out the way, so all that's left to do now is our focus, land redistribution, go up to speed 5, and begin. Now we have 25 political power, let's justify Shaanxi, core state, there we go. 37 political power means it's time for another justification, this time on the Shibi Sanma. I know, 2 justifications this early on, very adventurous. Next up, let's grab literacy programs. An extra research slot, yeah I want that. There we go, by April 1st, a full army. A not very well trained army or well equipped, but it will do. That extra research slot will be very useful, but now let's get more political power by strengthening the Central Secretariat. Oh yeah, from here with our research slots it's just going to be standard industry, electronics, weapons, you get the idea. Alright, justification's ready. Let's go. Shaanxi has no more than 3 divisions, we just need to walk around them and grab the victory points. And there they go. Just going to take the lot. Perfect. Now let's park on the Shibi Sanma border and begin to justify on Xinjiang. Now of course, in a normal Communist China run, people at this point would probably try and join the Comintern to distract the Warlord AI. Problem is, we can't. BBA added this distance modifier. There's no way for us to join the Comintern, I'm afraid. And with that extra political power, let's hire ourselves a silent workhorse. And do the Yarn base area next. Alright Ma, let's dance. We're also going to immediately begin doing Lend-Lease with Mongolia and Tanatuva. I've got mill access and a non-aggression pact to get the relations I needed. Very nice. Now normally the Shibi Sanma don't defend this tile on the Mongolian border, so take full advantage of it. Encircle the entirety of their army and walk on the victory points. Now we have well over 100 political power, so let's hire ourselves a chief of the army. We're going to go for Zhu Yu. Look at him. Army experience gain plus 0.3 a day, plus army experience gain plus 10%. That's really strong. Instead of 0.3, we're getting 0.33 a day. I believe at this point that Communist China has the strongest chief of army in the game, because that is ridiculously powerful. We have over 5 civs now, so let's create an intelligence agency. The main thing we want to focus on, of course, is cryptology. And now the Yarn base area is a tiny bit stronger, let's prepare for War of Japan. And there goes the second Warlord. And now let's get on the Xinjiang border. Alright, justification's ready, let's go. And again, Lend-Lease. So important to do so. So, we could do the government of national defence, but we don't have to do it so soon. So instead, let's get the man of the hour in charge. Social democracy time. Zhang Lan will become our leader and public elections will be held. All very nice. The main thing with Xinjiang that's annoying is not taking their big victory point Yamki, it's getting all the way down here to Kashgar. So far away relatively. With our next batch of political power, we're going to go all the way up to free trade. We don't have that many resources anyway, so it's just pure output for us. The few that we do, we'll just buy it from the Soviet Union. And that's it for the Northern Warlords. That went to plan. There we go. Right, next up we really do need to prepare for War of Japan. And let's be honest, supply around here is going to be our biggest problem. So let's deal with it. Let's build a supply hub right here. This will give us enough supply for this area. It's not perfect, but it will have to do. Now this supply hub will take years to be built, so we need to do something about that as well. So let's reorganize the railway system right now. Good, it'll be finished in June. And we'll link that up as soon as it's done. Well, here he is. The man, the myth, the legend, Zhang Lan and his legendary beard. Oh, and elections. Not much has actually changed for us, but nice little details, isn't it? Anyway, now, China will be under threat very soon, so let's do the government and national defence. That'll keep us safe. Anyway, let's shift around our production a tiny bit. 4 factories on guns and 3 into artillery, but the rest can go into weapons from now. Our current templates are quite weak, so let's change them. Let's go to our biggest one, this one, dupe. Add some infantry, add some artillery, new icon, and save. This isn't the best template, but it will have to do. And let's change the entire army over to it. In the past you could change it gradually over, but I'm deciding to go all in because I can. You also have to hire the army logistics specialist. He is going to be very useful today. Very nice. Oh, and of course we'll accept the Warlord. Yanan, you gonna join? Oh well, he'll probably join us later. But now, let's do focus on China. It's a small buff, but it's a damn useful one. Now in the past at this point, we'd probably improve relations with Italy for Lend-Lease. The thing is, thanks to all the BBA changes, Lend-Lease from Italy at this stage of the game is virtually non-existent. But instead, we're going to improve relations with Germany. They at least have somewhat of a stockpile to give us. You can also grab mill access and non-aggression pact with Stalin for the same. The thing is, he doesn't have much of a stockpile to give either. And just before the war starts, we are going to commandeer some civilian trains. It will come in useful. And finally, Yan'an has seen the light. Now our eyes are firmly on China, let's do a commission double. The Revolutionary and Central. And it has begun immediately. Let's join. Japan will push us and probably will push us hard, but we have a pretty strong setup. If it comes to it, do things like Ethiopia, withdraw some units, let them rest, put them back in. They won't be able to push us that much though. And of course though, since we're at war again, we can do Lend-Lease. Alright Germany, you know what I'm here for, hand it over. Oh, how kind of you. Very rapidly though, we've reached 100 XP, which allows us to do the next step of the plan, a doctrine change. Mass assault is not the key for victory today, Grand Battle Plan is. Grand Battle Plan is surprisingly useful for Communist China. The extra entrenchment will really make Japan hurt. And that's the plan, make Japan hurt until they're so weak we can just push them out of the continent. Having over 50 XP allows us to do something else we don't do very often, static warfare. Also highly useful, more entrenchment. We have more than enough political power to jump off extensive, that's 10% free output. And Germany has pretty much solved our equipment problem, so let's create another one. 18 units on low priority. There we go, what a massive deficit, am I right? Who could help us? Very nice. You may as well just keep these units around until they're trained. We'll need them eventually anyway. At 35 XP, you could go for Pro Officer Corps, but I would heavily suggest doing Elevated Engineering Corps. Look at it, another 10% entrenchment speed. You know what? Let's do it. We always do Pro Officer Corps anyway, so something different is interesting. With the commissions complete, it's now time for People's Liberation Army, which will remove probably one of our most harmful national spirits, Red Army Weakened. Our stability is really low. Improved working conditions it is. I know a strike is now inevitable now that we've done it, but preventative measures, preventative measures. Let's really get our org gang going now with mobile warfare. When it comes to org, that's what I've been waiting for. That's great. Anyway, I think the moment has finally arrived, don't you think? We've been putting it aside long enough. Let's finally do a coalition government and begin the power struggle with Chiang Kai-shek. And for the first time on this channel, here it is. The Chinese power struggle. Oh, this is going to be fun. Now, how do I explain this in the simplest way? Click buttons until this number is bigger than yours. Nah, I'm kidding. The way the power struggle works is you try to get more local support than the other China does. As you can see right now, we have 0 support in Beijing, while China has 1. Every time you do the decision, you have a chance of getting 1 support, 2 support, or 3 support. So that means that these 2 decisions, if you get really lucky, you can get national leadership within a month or 2. The thing is, that's quite unlikely. And also, Chiang Kai-shek also has access to the Chinese power struggle, so he can build his support too. And yes, you can also do like support from Yan'an and the Guangxi clique and other warlords if they're around. The thing is, it's not really worth it. They'll take away hundreds and hundreds of political power. So in my opinion, it's really not worth it. Now normally you can do only 1 state expansion at a time because you need at least 0.75 political power a day. But if you're not doing a focus, you can do 2 state expansions at once. So we're going to do Shandong and Beijing as they're 2 states that have 9 support. Anyway, now let's purge the radicals. We should have done this years ago, but this will get rid of power struggles. So yes, the power struggle is just pure RNG, I'm afraid. There's not much we can do about it. Whether we get lucky or not is, well, up to chance. Bad news. And bad news. Dang. Oh well, we at least have 1 point in both of them, so we'll probably get it this time. Now that we've dealt with the totally radical side of this party, we should do the 100 Regiments campaign. Of course, if you really wanted to, you could begin to make your way down to removing Chiang Kai-shek, but in my opinion, it's not really worth it. It'll take 140 days to do, and in the long term, nah. Just do more state expansion. Speaking of which, cancel that focus for a second, Shandong, and now 100 regiments. At this point though, Japan honestly can't push us. Sure, they'll push a unit out every once in a while, but it's not that bad. Well, their losses are completely terrible. I'll give Chiang Kai-shek credit, he's done a damn good job, even with Beijing in quite a perilous situation. Bad news from Shandong, but Beijing now supports us. Nice. As you can see, Chiang has been building his support in Shandong too. Now 2-2, so go again. We will now enforce the 3 rules for the Exit Stab. Expand our control down here because, well, we kind of need to. Uh-oh. Chiang has just been expanded in Shanghai. Now equal. Luckily though, we now have support of Shandong. If we get lucky with Sichuan, we'll have the majority. Damn. Gotta try again. Right, I think we should play safe by expanding our support in Beijing again, because that seems to be what Chiang is up to. But when we have political power again, sure, we'll go for Sichuan again, and then we will probably be fine. For focus now, there is a lot you could probably do. In my opinion, I'm going to ban the opium trade. I knew this would happen. Chiang has gotten a majority in Beijing. Luckily I'm working on it, eh? I think it's time for some early manoeuvres though. We're going to begin to march on Zhangbei. There's a supply hub there, so it's imperative for us that we take it. And luckily, we're a lot stronger than Japan. And Beijing is supporting us again. Good choice. And we've taken Zhangbei. Perfect. Let's build a railway and link it up. At last though, With Szechuan's support, we now have the majority of points from the states, and we can take national leadership. Let's do it. I've never seen Chiang refuse this, so I doubt we'll have an illegal regime. And he's done it. He's submitted. And through democracy, somewhat, Zhang Lan has unified China. Somewhat. And we inherit the entirety of Chiang's army. 100 extra divisions. Well, talk about a 100 division offensive, am I right? There we go, 4 extra armies. Let's deploy our 18 divisions that have been ready for a long time. There we go. And there we go. Not perfect, but 114 divisions. And let's standardise. Change them all over to our preferred infantry. Good. And now here comes the fun part. The part where we create a new order. So much shuffling of our units, but it has to be done. Oh well. For the remaining 24 division, we'll put them on defence against naval invasions. I don't expect them to hold back Japan that much, but they can at least buy us some time. And since I need some new generals, let's see who we can get. Oh my word. Look who it is. It's the legend, Brigadier Dong Dong. I think we'd be a bit of a fool if we didn't hire him. Oh, what do you know? Inflexible strategist and a media personality? Seems fitting, doesn't it? Something I'd like to see, if Paradox is somehow watching this, please give us, once we take national leadership, the other China's generals, because right now we have to hire quite a lot of people, such as Mao Sun. You can be our defense guy. And there we go, Zhang Lan takes national leadership. Somehow it only took 3 hours to convince Chiang Kai-shek to give up China. I don't believe that. Focus at this point, we should definitely do socialist market economy. Get rid of the long march. I don't think it's much of a long march anymore when we literally control all of China. Well, not all, but you get the idea. We don't even have that much of a deficit. Although if we did, of course, we could do Lend-Lease. We also inherit, now that I think of it, the Air Force of China. May as well use it. And we managed to get that supply hub built in time, which is great news. Let's begin to move. We want to encircle Chahar. Good. You guys begin to push. Honestly, we probably can afford to push now. So let's do it. And even activate our cipher. Well, their cipher. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a grind, but that's kind of how this goes. The things we're aiming to capture right now is not necessarily territory, but supply hubs, like Mukden and Hsing. And Manchukuo has capitulated. That's the first false state destroyed. Now let's destroy the second. Ooh, we could potentially encircle this entire front around Tianjin. I'm going to try and do it. Is it time to activate the 100 Regiments offensive? Yes, let's do it. For 180 days we'll have plus 25 extra attack on core territory. We should use it. Focus is from here on out, honestly do which ones you think are best. Like you could abolish the land rent, get more stab war support, China Medical University. You could even do foreign investors if you want more thivs. For me, I want that extra research slot. Well, it isn't the most perfect encirclement, but it's one nevertheless. I'm going to say around 30 divisions in there. Conservative estimate. Damn, that is a lot of divisions. Well, it's time for wait for a supply hub. Yay! Not for another 2 months. That is a small encirclement, but I'll take any victory I can get at this rate. Come on, let's finally take Mukden. Good. And that is already linked up through this railway. We just need to wait a few days. It's been arduous, but I think we could finally go on the offensive again. Cipher break, let's go. And for good measure, we take Darlin. No ridiculous amount of units there. And another supply hub in Manchuria. Now we're getting somewhere. After all of those troubles, having supply feels nice. That isn't nice, but whatever. Not my problem at this point. Husam was undefended. Interesting. Gonna leave a unit behind just in case. And wow, the Guangxi clique managed to push out Japan on their own. Good job. Good job. We should just focus on capitulating Manchukuo. Harbin is their last big victory point, so let's nab it. There should even be a supply hub there. No pins, keep going. Another good thing is, since there's no supply hubs and no nothing for Japan here, they're all out of supply. These units are basically toast. After my units had supply problems literally a few months ago, this feels almost therapeutic. And there goes Manchukuo at last. We just need to flush them out, and eventually we should get the peace deal event. Oh, no, it fires immediately. Yeah, the war has been won. No need to do anything too dangerous. I wouldn't call us finished though, because is this a unified China? Of course it isn't. Next we must finish up with our former partners. Sorry Guangxi, you did a good job, but your time is coming soon. Hopefully this time, unlike the previous time we had something like this, no one by the name of France decides to guarantee anyone. For Chinese wars against Japan, that was pretty good. Not the best, not the worst. The main benefit of this path is now the fact that we've already annexed nationalists. We don't have to do anything like infiltrations, we don't have to do anything. We already control China. Well, not all of it, but the majority. And that I really like. Sorry Guangxi, we've dealt with many warlords already, so you're just the next one on the chopping block. And that's that for the clique. Just one more to go. Yan'an kicked out, and Justify. We only need 3 armies in my opinion to take them down. To there. Something like this will do. Don't think I need to elaborate further on this one. Let's go. Japan has managed to lose 5 stability from justifying on Yunnan. Funny. But we started with 5 warlords and now there are none. Done. What can you do sometimes? It worked out in the end. All in all though, this is a pretty fun, underrated path. I think more of you should check it out if you haven't played it already. The Chinese power struggle can be quite unnerving, but as I've shown, it's fine. It's basically just pressing buttons when you break it down. However, until next time everybody, I thank you for watching, do hope you've enjoyed it. Feel free to leave any of your suggestions in the comments below for future videos, I'm always looking for them. However, until we meet again, from me Bubble Zest, goodbye.